February is Black History Month, and to mark the occasion, people in the Fox Valley gathered for an event highlighting hair care. The event, called the Afro Hair Fair, was organized by the group People of Progression. It took place at Fox Valley Technical College. Those who showed up were given a chance to participate in hair care education workshops, learn about historical background of black hairstyles, and hear from hair care experts about their knowledge and experience.
There is need for what we are doing. You know, the fact that so many people gather together to take care of something that helps our children with their self-esteem, something that helps them with their identity of who they are and who they can be.
Organizers of today's event say it's also meant to help out parents and guardians of black children learn about black hair care in order to keep it looking healthy. Former